Alright, so in this video I'm going to teach you how to balance chemical equations step by step. It's one of the most important things to understand in chemistry after year 8, and once you get the hang of it, it's pretty simple. So a chemical reaction is just a way to show what you've got happening in a chemical reaction. So on the left side of a chemical reaction you have the reactants, and on the right side you have the end products. So we can use an example here such as H2 plus O2 as our reactants and H2O as our product. So this simple example just states that hydrogen gas reacts with oxygen to make water. But right now this chemical equation is not equal, and that's an issue. So in chemistry we follow the law of conservation of mass, which means atoms can't just appear or disappear. So we need to make sure the same number of atoms are on each side of the equation. So for people who are new to this, I would recommend making a table like this for both sides of the equation, and you count how many of each atom you have. So in this example we have 2 hydrogens on this side, so I'd write 2 there. We have 2 oxygens, so I'd write 2 there. We have 2 hydrogens here and just the 1 oxygen here. So right now what we can try do is equal out the O's, since we only have 1 oxygen but we have 2 on this side. So what we can try do is multiply this entire thing by 2. So now what we get is we get 4 hydrogens and 2 oxygens. So now we have extra atoms on the right side instead this time. So to fix that, we can just multiply this hydrogen by 2. We can update our table and make that 4,2 on this side and 4,2 on the other side. So this is how you would start it as a beginner, and this is a pretty basic way of doing it with the table. But yeah, so let's try a harder equation. So let's try CH4 plus O2 gives us CO2 plus H2O. So you can pause the video and try to balance it, or you can stay here and just try and learn this. So we can make our table for both sides. So then we can count. So we have 1 carbon on the left, we have 4 hydrogens on the left, we have 2 oxygens on the left. On the right side we have 1 carbon, 2 hydrogen, and now we have 2 oxygen here and 1 there. So we have 3 oxygen. Okay, so what we can do now is we can multiply this H2O by 2, and this is just a process of sometimes trial and error. So we can have 4 there and 2 there, and that balances it out on both sides. And basically that's how you would always do it. There are some rare circumstances in year 11, 12 where you can change other things, but that's not what we have to worry about right now. So to summarize this, here's what you have to keep in mind. So you can only change these big numbers at the start. So for example, if I were to put the 2 there, that's all I can change. I can't put a 2 there. I can't put anything there. I can't put anything there. Unless, of course, that's what it's asking for, which it doesn't until VCE. Another thing that you always have to try do, either on paper or mentally, is to draw out these tables. So if you keep on practicing, you'll be able to do this in your head. And usually just try balance one element at a time. So in this case, we'd try balance the one which we have the least of, and that's unbalanced. And if you just keep those 3 key points in mind, that's how you would balance chemical equations. Thank you.